everyone. It's so good to be filming when my little boy is back at preschool. I know how bad that sounds, but in the last couple of weeks filming has actually been really quite tricky. My husband had a week off work, so we were kind of here, there and everywhere. Then it was half term, and filming with a toddler around is just pretty much impossible. I did manage a couple of things, but it's actually quite nice to think, I can kind of relax a bit now, and all I need to worry about is the dog or if the doorbell goes. So hey, that's absolutely fine. So anyway, speaking of which, not that you can see her, but she's just come over to say hello. Hello. So this is actually a really exciting video because this is my first ever request video, which I am super chuffed about. So it's from Suzie Su. Hi Suzie, thank you for requesting this video. This is about one of the products that I'm quite passionate, interested about, and that is lip care and lip balms and that kind of stuff. Now, whether I will dabble in lipsticks, an actual proper colour, I'm sure I will at some point, but it's not a massively high priority for me. So, excuse the dog, off you get, good girl. Yeah, it's not a massively high priority for me because I am kind of experimenting more with other things. So I've got a little box of goodies right here to share with you. These are some products that I use most days, some with colour, some without. They all kind of serve a bit of a different purpose. So I thought I'd talk you through what it is that I use on my lips to keep them in tip-top condition and looking lovely. Okay, so I thought I'd probably start with some of the more boring traditional stuff to get it out of the way, but stuff that I particularly enjoy using, and I really like using Vaseline. I know it's not for everyone, not everyone likes the scent that you kind of get with most Vaseline-y products, but for me it's just a really cheap, good all-rounder that, you know, gets well loved. I mean, this scent in particular is cocoa butter, but as long as it isn't anything too sickly, like some of the berry, kind of strawberry, those kind of things, you know, I quite happily use any of them. And I like the fact that you can use this in other areas as well, so you can use it on dry skin, obviously not to use too much because it's very efficient. But it's a nice multi-purpose product. I've used Vaseline for years, and it's just a very nice, handy, lightweight thing to have knocking around on your desk, in your bag, on your bedside table. And I do like the fact that it's in a pot. I think that's more from a texture point of view, just because it is quite lightweight and just really easy to put on. I'm kind of one of those people when it comes to lip balm that I just like the process of reapplying it all the time. I think that probably makes me a bit of a lip balm junkie, but hey. Next thing that's worth mentioning, that again is a little bit boring, this is just a pot of cherry Carmex that I've been using. I think this has SPF, yeah, SPF of 15. It's got a nice, very synthetic cherry scent to it. It's almost like a medicine kind of cherry. I don't actually apply this straight to my lips from the tube because I don't think the design of it is very good for doing that. What I tend to do is I just pop a bit on the back of my hand. You don't need very much, and then put it on that way. Texture wise, it's really similar to the Vaseline. It's very lightweight. Again, it's just nice to chuck in your pocket and carry around with you. A little bit more portable sometimes than a pot of Vaseline, just purely because you're not having to take the whole lid off and expose the contents to, you know, wherever it is you're going. So if you're going to the beach, for example, taking that Vaseline, probably not such a great idea because you'll get sand in there. But something like this is quite handy. No colour at all, but very scented, and just nice and sort of very slippery and oily feeling. So that's another one that I like to use. Now, into the territory of sort of more expensive but worth spending a bit of money on. This is actually an unopened one. This is my backup one because I can't find my one that I use day to day, and for some reason this lip balm I seem to lose all the time, and it's probably my favourite. I don't know how I manage to lose it all the time, but I do. This is from First Aid Beauty, and it's their Ultra Repair Lip Therapy. Like I said, this is my backup one, so this hasn't even been opened yet, but I need to show you the applicator. I'll just peel that off. What I really like about this is, one, you get quite a lot of product in there, so although it's slightly more expensive than some that you can get from, say, Boots or Superdrug, you are getting quite a bit of product in there. Is it going to tell me? Yeah, just under 15ml, and the Vaseline is 20ml, so it's not too much of a difference. What I really like about this, amongst many things, is it's got a really nice smooth applicator. So you just push the product up through, and this may take a little while because this is new, you can just see it popping out the top there, hopefully. But it's a really nice smooth applicator to be able to actually smooth the product onto your lips. It's rounded on the edges. It's just, compared to similar products like this where it's a tube that you squeeze out and you're meant to put straight on, if I just compare the lids of these two, essentially it's the same kind of design. With the Carmex one, it just kind of, it scrapes as you're putting it on because the hole is smaller, it's not as smooth as this one, it's just not as nicer feeling being able to rub that on your lips when you've tried something like this. If that doesn't really bother you, then another reason why I really like this is the fact that it lasts a bit longer than some of the more oilier based lip balms. So this one's a bit of a thicker texture. It actually feels like it's really doing something to heal your lips as well. The reason why I first bought this is because of the fact that my lips had got really bad. I'd been out in the wind quite a lot and it was winter, and I got this in the January sales, and it just, as soon as I started using it, it felt like my lips started to feel a lot better, and it's got a delicate sort of mint flavour and smell as well, so that's really nice. It does actually say on the back it's allergy tested and fragrance free, but it does have a menthol vibe to it, and I've just checked the ingredients and I can't really see anything in there that explains where the menthol's coming from. I mean, there's a lot of ingredients here, so maybe I'm missing something. So yeah, this is probably my favourite lip balm that I just take out and about with me. I wish I knew where the other one was. I've looked in every pocket I can think of. I'm sure it will turn up at some point, but it's a lot more beaten and battered than this one. I've been using it for like the last 6 months, and I love it. It's a lovely lip balm. Again, going on the slightly sort of higher end of the scale, I've got this lip conditioner from Estee Lauder, and this was in a pack. I can't remember which pack it came in now, but I know I've mentioned it in another video. So it's just like your classic kind of lipstick looking lip balm. I've used it a fair bit. I mean, it has worn down a little bit. I believe you can purchase this. I think it was Suzie mentioned that you can purchase this, but I've not ever found it on the Estee Lauder website. I don't think I would go out of my way to buy it because I'm assuming it would probably be quite expensive. Hello, doggy. Hello. I'm assuming it would be quite expensive to buy. If it was part of a pack or, you know, just a random little freebie, then it's absolutely fine. It obviously looks a little bit nicer, so if you were going out somewhere and you didn't want to be carrying around any of the other lip balms that look a little bit, you know, lip balmy, then this is quite nice to take with you. In terms of the texture of it, for a stick lip balm, it is nice. It does feel conditioning. It's nothing to get too wildly excited about. There's no real scent or flavour other than just slightly, I don't know, like a traditional kind of lipsticky scent, if that makes sense. Whatever ingredient it is, that's the main component of lipstick. It's that kind of thing. In fact, it makes me wonder if this is just a naked lipstick, if that makes sense. So, you know, the pigment taken out of a normal lipstick, whether that's actually what this is, because that is pretty much what it smells like. It smells like lipstick. Not that I've used lipstick in a long time, but from how I remember it smelling, it's got that kind of scent. But yeah, it's perfectly nice. I tend to use this. I don't take it out and about with me, but when I'm getting ready, I tend to pop this on because it is quite conditioning, but it doesn't last very long. So I just pop some on whilst I'm getting ready, and then by the time I've got to my lips and what I want to do with them, this is usually worn off anyway, because I do mess around with my lips quite a bit. I'm constantly like rubbing them together, and yeah. So it's nice, but I wouldn't get too overexcited about it. I'm sure in this kind of category there are probably much better ones out there. I've just got two more to mention in terms of things that don't have any colour to them. So this product here, I feel, gets quite a lot of hype when it comes to the beauty community. That's how I found out about it, and it's the Nuxe Rev de Miel lip balm. Now this is classed as an ultra nourishing lip balm, and I've not encountered anything like this before. When it first arrived, I was so excited to try it. I know you can get it in the stick format as well, but that seemed to get a lot more negative comments than this one did. People didn't seem to like it so much, so I thought, right, let's try it. It's 15 grams that you get in here. Let's see how it goes. Now, I have actually been using it, as you can probably see, but when this first arrived, I absolutely hated this. I was so disappointed. It was so thick, and it's just got a really odd texture, and I just thought, oh my goodness, what were people banging on about, saying how good it was, when, you know, it's just, how can anyone wear this? And I was really annoyed because I can't remember how much it was exactly, but it, you know, it was enough to make me feel, oh, I could have bought something else. But as you can see, I have persisted with it, and I have found a way that I can wear it that actually I'm really enjoying. I'm quite surprised. In terms of the scent, it's one of the things that I do really love about it. At first, I wasn't quite sure because it's a very kind of orange peely marmalade kind of smell, and I love the scent of orange, but I just wasn't sure about it. But I really like it now. It's funny how it's just really grown on me. Now, how I use this is I don't put it on naked lips. It's too sticky, it's too thick. It just doesn't feel very nice. It feels a bit suffocating. What I do is I layer it. So I put any of the other lip products that I've mentioned so far on first, so something nice and thin just to put kind of base down, and then I just pop like a really small amount on the top, and what that does, it makes the texture of this not seem quite so thick as it would do on its own, but it beefs up whatever it is that you had on first of all. So if you want something to last a bit longer, then combine it with this. I know that's kind of a bit of a crazy thing to do, and I've only come up with doing this because I felt like I had to, really, because I just hate wasting money. But actually, it's a really nice way of using this and kind of boosting the potency and power of your other lip products. See, instantly, just putting a tiny amount on, it feels really smooth, really hydrating. It feels like it's going to be long lasting as well. It's not as thin as some of the other textures. I tend to use this quite a lot at night as part of my skincare routine. Again, I layer it, I don't use it on its own. And it's a really lovely thing to use in combination with other things, in my opinion. It just makes things that bit more long wearing, and I love it for that. It's very conditioning, as it says, it's ultra nourishing. I think this has been helping keeping my lips in check a lot better. They've not been drying out quite so much because of the fact that it is so much more longer wearing. So I do really like it. I couldn't recommend to use it on its own personally, just from a texture point of view. It's too thick, but layering it with other products works beautifully. So I'm happy to use this, and I actually have really enjoyed using it, so that's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I've got a few coloured products to go through with you, but before I do that, there's just one kind of more random product that I want to mention, and it's this one from Lush, and it's their Sugar Lip Scrub. This is in the scent Bubblegum. I've had this for ages. I mean, look at the date on the bottom. Used by the 3rd of the 3rd 2011. But because the main component is sugar, and obviously sugar is a preservative, it doesn't go off. It smells not as great as it probably did when I first got it. It's still nice, but the strength of the fragrance isn't there, but I think that tends to happen with a lot of Lush products. So with the Lush Bubblegum Lip Scrub, it's really straightforward to use. Even though I've had this a long time, there's still quite a lot left in there because you don't really need very much. But you just take a small amount out, rub it onto your lips, and then you can do kind of one or two things. This just reminds me of, I don't know whether anyone else was like this when they were little or even still now, but if we were eating a donut, the ones with loads and loads of sugar on, we had a little competition in the family as to who could manage to not lick their lips, and it's so hard. But with this stuff, the main ingredient is caster sugar, and the other ingredients are perfectly okay to lick off as well, so you can either wipe it off or you can lick it off. But just give it a good rub around, really good for removing any sort of dead skin, and then there, it's kind of gone. I'm just going to wipe any excess off. Right, so the last collection of products I want to talk to you about are all coloured things. I've got a whole little collection of things here to go through with you, but I'm kind of feeling like this video is turning into a really long one, so I'm going to try and whip through these as quick as possible. I think I'll zoom you in a little bit as well, just purely because they are coloured products. Okay, so there you are, zoomed in a little bit more. I think I'll start off with these ones first, because I have 3 of them. I've had these for a long time. I think you can get these from Amazon still. I can't remember the name of the website I got them from. It might have been Fragrance Direct. I don't think they sell these anymore. But these are Calvin Klein Ultimate Edge lip glosses. Now, normally anything with the word gloss in the title I kind of run a million miles from, because I hate that sticky feeling. I can't remember what possessed me to try these, but I'm so glad that I did, because when I do want a little bit of colour, these are just lovely. The only moan I would have about these, I mean, the packaging is really cute, but they are a bit on the small side, and I prefer to sort of dip my finger into things, and if you've got nails or anything, it just can create a bit of a nightmare really. And I tend to use lip brushes with these, which is a little bit of a pain, but they're actually really quite pretty. Both of these have got like a pearlescent quality to them. Something's a bit darker, but my absolute favourite, and this doesn't have a pearlescent quality to it, is Rose. I have 2 of these. But yeah, rose is my absolute favourite, and it's definitely not a lip gloss. No way is it a lip gloss. It's much more of a balm. It's a very balmy, light texture, which just goes on really nicely. Like I said, I'll put some swatches in for you to see, but just really, really nice and natural looking on the lips, which I really like. Another product that I've been using a little bit lately is this tinted balm from Lana Lips. Now this one has got good SPF, it's SPF of 30. It's nourishing and hydrating, and it's great for dry lips. No artificial fragrances, parabens, petroleum and PEGs, mineral oil or sulfates. Now this looks really pretty on the lips, it's quite thick, but the applicator is just pants. I mean, when I talked about the other applicators with some of the other products that are similar to this, like the First Aid Beauty Balm and the Carmex one, I mean, this has got a huge opening and you get a ton of product come out, which is just way too much. It's just completely the wrong design. Everyone needs to learn from that First Aid Beauty applicator. So again, I just tend to pop it on the back of my hand and work from there, because it's just so much easier. So it doesn't make it the easiest thing to transport around with you, just to be able to chuck it on, but the colour is actually really pretty. Okay, so the last products I want to talk about, I'll show you this one first. This is looking a bit beaten. It's a Bourjois Colour Boost in Peach on the Beach. They had an offer on these a little while back, and I really wanted to try one, and I was agonising over which one to get, because there are a few other colours that I really like too, and I thought I'd step out of my comfort zone a little bit and I'd get something a bit different. And like I said, this is Peach on the Beach, which is definitely a peachy coral colour. But what I like about the texture of these is, again, they're just really easy to wear. They're quite pigmented too. But what I like to do is I like to put it on and then just gently blot it off a little bit, just to give more of a hint of colour. So, you know, something like this will last me a really long time, because I don't tend to wear very much, but I tend to prefer a sort of more subtle, natural lip look, and this just makes them look that little bit more interesting, I guess. The last two products that I want to mention are both from Burt's Bees. This I mentioned in my last Empties video. This is just one of their standard lip balms in pomegranate, and then this one is quite a new one for me. It's one of their lip shimmers in watermelon. Now, just starting with the pomegranate one, I like the scent of it. I like the fact that it leaves a really nice subtle berry look to the lips, very easy to use. It's a nice texture. Again, it's not the longest lasting thing, but it smells really lovely, and I have really happy memories from this, which I talked about in my Empties video if you want to go check that out. And then this one, like I said, this lip shimmer is quite new to me. This was more pigmented than I was expecting it to be, and it's really minty, which I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be kind of a berry sort of smell, but it smells exactly like Murray Mints actually. Having just taken the lid off, it smells exactly like Murray Mints. But again, it's quite pigmented, but it kind of leaves your lips feeling a little bit tingly and cool, which is quite nice. So there we have it. Those are the current lip products that I'm using. I really hope you enjoyed watching, especially you, Suzie Su, as you requested this video. If anyone else would like to request me film anything in particular, then please let me know in the comments. I am considering doing a similar video on eyebrow products, because I have tons. I've tried so many. That is going to be a little bit more of a tricky one to film, but it is something that I would like to share because I feel like I've tried a lot. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know if you did like it by giving me a thumbs up down below, and I will see you again soon. Thanks, bye.